Happy Saturday! So I did not attend our usual dueling tarot last night, so I felt I owed you guys a live, even though I'm doing it by myself without Alicia. We'll have dueling tarot next week, I promise. Shout out who you are in the comments. I have a list of viewer questions that were either emailed or chatted into me in other readings. So I wanted to tackle those. And good morning, Christy. If it's morning where you are, it's just noon here, but I'm just getting my act together. So I'm also postponing taking a teenager practice driving because I'm a nervous wreck. I've never taught anybody how to drive before. So we're going to find a big parking lot. And oh, is it 11:11, Christy? 11:11. Good morning, Penny. Good morning, Sunny. Francois, bonsoir. I can't say bonsoir. Bonjour, bonjour. So I've got a list of questions. We're going to tackle some of these questions first, but if you guys want a reading of your own, you can just super chat in a donation or super sticker and let me know. I've decided that it's so much easier if we do the super chat for the questions, because then I actually get to see you on Wednesday. My channel is getting kind of busy. So on Wednesday, I missed a few questions that were chatted in. And I felt really bad about that. So I think that might be an easier way to go until I get Gregopedia to produce for me all the time. But there's Sloppy Shuffle, first Sloppy Shuffle of the day. I'll put the card view on so you guys can see it. There's my Sloppy Shuffle. So yeah, until I can get somebody to produce for me all the time, it's a little bit easier if we just do the super chats. I'm sorry, or super stickers. So but if you still put questions up, I'll try and get to them, but I may not see them. So I've got a list of questions here. So yeah, the funny thing is that I'm taking my daughter driving, and she's a little bit more hesitant than my son. And my son plays a lot of video games and has really good hand-eye coordination, and he plays 15 instruments. I mean, he's young, but he is a very gifted musician. And I don't have the concerns about him driving that I do with my daughter. I just don't want my daughter to hesitate. So one of the things I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get her like a professional driver defensive driving course or offensive driving course, so she can really get the sense of driving. I mean, for me, I was never really concerned about driving when I first started. Crazy jump out. I took to driving like a duck to water. So let me just make sure I didn't drop a card there. In fact, while we're waiting for people to come in. Hi, Star Ruby. Oh, thank you so much, honey. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do try and keep my readings very, very positive, and I try to make them and we were talking about this at my day job, very proactive instead of reactive. So while there's some terrible stuff that goes on, I think you can always take a proactive approach to like repairing things. So I think it's really important. I mean, it's so easy to kind of bag on somebody, especially when they're making a lot of missteps in your life. That whole Schadenfreude thing, we're all guilty of it at some point. But I think as a spiritual counselor and a psychic tarot reader, I don't know if you guys noticed, I started to change that because people are responding to it very differently. And again, somebody at work had said to me, you should change it to psychic tarot readings, because people don't quite get what tarot is sometimes, like some of the uninitiated, not like you guys, my regulars, but some people just don't know what tarot is. So, and I think he was absolutely right. So I give my friend Tom Collins a tip of the hat. I'll have to tag him in this video. So let's do this. First thing, while we're waiting for people to file in, let's see how my driving lesson's going to go today. How am I going to do as a driving instructor? I tell everybody I'm pretty good at everything that I do, except for riding a bike and drawing. I can't do either of those things. I'm really terrible artist, like horrible artist. Like if someone did this to me and threatened the life of myself or anyone else, like I would not be able to draw. Like it's stick figures. It's really bad. It's one of the reasons why like I'm like really proud of my thumbnails, even though they're like super basic. But so my driving lesson today, of course, here's the mother card because I'm the mom. And I'm going to apparently work together very well, and we'll have success in the future. So that's a good thing. So we'll just take it slow. We've got plenty of time before we need to take that road test. So that'll be a good thing. So there we go. Oh, and Carla, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I actually just commented on I have a new sub, and that's another thing. Like I've gotten a lot of new subs over the last few days. It's like the number is pumping up, so I really appreciate that. If those of you that are sharing and telling your friends to come over and take a look, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I mean, this really is like I have a regular full-time job. I have a regular full-time family. So cloning is not out of the question for me. I would love to clone myself. But this really is my best part of the day. I really do enjoy this. And, my day job, I'm helping people as well. But this is a different way of helping people. This is a way of helping people to, squeeze more juice out of life, to really live their best life. So I really do like it. And, you guys can check me in the comments if I ever get, kind of lousy with the celebrity stuff. I always try and be like fairly kind, even if somebody's not doing such a kind thing, like this is how you can kind of right your ship. So, all right. So surprise live. I had a question from Denise Brandt that she wanted to know if Megan had had a child as a teen. Now, I had heard that like potentially there was one in college, but as a teen, I'm your Huckleberry. I'll take a look at that. So I got a few decks out, ladies and gentlemen. I also have this cool one that I got on sale from Hay House, the Wisdom of Avalon. It's Oracle cards. We might bust that out too. May bust that out. So, oh yeah. You know what? If you guys want to ask me questions like this, now is the time. Do it. Ask me questions. So, Francois, yes, I do feel drained. You'll notice if you go back and you look at some of the Dueling Tarot lives, it's about 2 hours in. Alicia and I both start to get kind of goofy and fuzzy, and it almost seems like we're drunk. You start to really detach from the Oh, Penny, thank you. I will get to you in 2 seconds, honey. So you really start to detach from the terrestrial, from the physical. And so like one of the things that I do after dueling tarot, I take my shoes off. I don't care how cold it is outside. And I go out to the front yard and I plant my feet right on the grass. I take my shoes off, take my socks off, and I plant my feet right in the grass, or in some cases the snow or the mud, depending on the weather. And I face west. And what that does is it kind of brings the energy over, grounds me into the ground. Other things that I do, tapping into some Ayurveda, which is Indian medical dieting, which I don't do on the regular. I just do it occasionally when I feel kind of flaky. If I feel heavy and too grounded, I'll eat lighter fare, like a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens. Or if I feel too flighty and too ethereal, I will eat meat or potatoes, things that are grown in the ground. Carrots are really good for that. Vodka. I will sometimes use vodka for that as well. I'm not opposed to drinking. And likewise, a glass of wine. I don't typically drink in tarot. Sometimes I will, take a drink. I certainly don't drunk tarot, but a glass of wine, because the grapes are grown in the air and they have a lot of air energy coming around them. They do come out of the ground. Wine is a very interesting blend of balancing that air and earth energy. So it's pretty cool. And if you mull it, then you get a little bit of that fire in there too. So it's kind of cool. So all right, let's before I get to you, sweetie pie, let me get to, I'm going to do this viewer question. I'm going to try and stay on for like 2 hours. So maybe you can chat in the comments if you see me getting weird. Serendipity. I was just thinking about you this morning, darling. I felt like I hadn't seen you in a while. I was going to reach out on email and just make sure everything was cool. So did Megan have, and this is a question from Denise Brandt, did Megan have a child in her teens? Looking at teens. Huh. Okay. I do not think that she had a child in her teens. I think in her teens, I think that there was perhaps a situation that needed to be rectified because it was causing some issues with the path and the plans. So swords, we see sometimes medical intervention and for the greater good with the support of the family and the father here. So I think perhaps there was a situation that did not come to fruition. That is my answer for that one. So that is that. So let me take a look. We're going to do Penny's. Penny, thank you so much for your donation. And you know what, Penny? I have a very romantic deck around here. Let me grab a romantic deck and not read with the Megan deck. Let me see what I got going here. Oh, Penny, this one's really cool. And this is Showcase Showdown. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. I haven't brought this one on. This is my cute tarot. So let's take a look. Let's see how this does. Wait till you see it. Oh, it's so cute. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Oh, so cute. So cute. Penny, love life, love life. Let's take a look, baby doll. Got to jump out. 5 of Cups. I'll explain what that 5 of Cups is all about in just a sec. Let me get some more cards out. Let me know if this deck reads well on the camera, guys. Sometimes we have decks that don't read well. Okay, so this is some good stuff. This is some good stuff. All right, so what we've got here, it's not failure to communicate. So the 5 of Cups up here. All right, and let me pull him up so you can see how cute this deck is. Cute, cute, cute. 5 of Cups. Now that's our jump out card. The 5 of Cups always tells us that we have to not look at what we don't have, but to look at what we do have. So it's really the card of, is it half full, half empty, or is it partially drunk? What we need to do, and sometimes we want things so badly we just are focused on the goal. And I know that happens with me. I'm a very A-type personality in a lot of respects. Some not in some respects, but sometimes I get so focused on the goal that I don't enjoy the ride. And that's one of the things that like I always tell my ex, he was terrible to travel with. He hated the process of travel, hated like going to the airport, getting on the plane, going through, the queue. He hated it. And for me, like I love that. I am, if anybody ever needs a ride to the airport, I'm like, I'm there. I'll pick you up. I love it. I love the energy at the airport. I was probably like a pilot or a flight attendant in my past life, but I love the energy. I love the excitement of people coming. There's all these emotions that I can tap into as an empath. One of the cool things is like you get these people that are saying goodbye, and just feel all this emotion and this longing. And then there's people that are holding up the sign, welcome home, mom. It's just such an amazing symphony of emotion and vibration that I get there. Other people just tap into the chaos. And the crazy thing is that like I hate chaos. Like we went to a college fair at the high school the other day, and I was like, I hate every minute of this and I just want to get out of here. So it just was hot, and there was a lot of people, and there was a lot of noise, and I hate that. So me like liking the airport is really unusual. It's one of the few chaotic places that I really like. I'm just like, oh, this is great. But I don't even know how I got there. So the Five of Cups is about enjoying that ride and looking at the things that are there, slowing down and appreciating the gifts that are given within the relationship, rather than looking for the things that you think should be there. Those things can always be built in eventually. You can yeah, and you know what? I want to make this screen bigger. I'm sorry. Let me make this a little bit bigger, people, so you don't need to see me. You need to see the cards. There we go. All right, that's much better. So you can see the cards much better. So stop and look around. Like I had a wish list before Greg and I got together. And two of my friends, I think I've told the story before, they laughed at me and they were like, you're never going to meet anybody because no one is ever going to fit this bill. And Gregopedia did actually fit the bill. The only thing that he didn't have, there were two things on the list. And the one thing was he didn't have more tattoos than me. He actually has none. So like I dated guys who were like, oh, I'm heavily tattooed. And they're like, oh, you have so many tattoos. I'm like, I had them when you met me. So like, what are you going to do about that? I'm not going to like, derma blend my whole body. Like get over it. So that was one of my, deal breakers. But it turned out I didn't need that deal breaker. So, when you have that wish list, you can always build those things in. Greg could always get a tattoo. He's not going to, but he could always get one. So look at the things that you have, focus on those and cultivate those. That's really what we need to do, is really dig into those good things. Drink from that cup. In that Five of Cups, the card, what you see is there's two cups that are upright and three that are spilt. Okay. And that's really what's going on. And in the traditional card, the individual on the card is facing away from the full cups, not looking at the full cup. So that's where we get that whole emotion from. So now moving into the cards, into this sentence, if you will, um, this is the Ace of Wands, which is really about empowerment and taking charge of that and looking and working with what you have. And that's our Eight of Coins here, cultivating it, becoming the master, really, really. I don't want to say exploiting, but I want you to exploit the good things in the relationship. Exploiting positivity in a relationship is not a bad thing. That is just magnifying everything that's good. So if you guys play tennis together, well, go play tennis like every day. Like make an appointment to go play tennis. If you really like going to, beer tastings and getting flights of beer, go to beer tastings once a week. Sink into the things that are great about it. Communication for both of you is really key. And there are things that you're not saying because you're the Queen of Swords, he's the Knight of Swords, okay? So you're a bit more communicative than he is. He's still trying to formulate those words. Our knights are frat boys, our college students. They're trying to find their footing and they're doing everything that they can. So he might not be saying the right words. he may mean them. He's just not, and I hesitate to say mature enough, but he's just not at that level of maturity where the words are coming out. There's still some clouding of that language just because he doesn't know how to do it. Not that he's hiding anything, not that there's anything, that you need to be concerned about. It's just that he just can't get that. The moon is about emotion. The moon is about, the feelings that are behind things in this sense, not always in a reading, but this is how those feelings are clouded and they're behind. So, finding the balance, we have the energy overall is that Seven of Wands in reverse. And Seven of Wands is the guy who's balancing on top of the staves and kind of has the other staff and is either battling or balancing. And really, this is about finding that balance. And you still need to find that balance. You still need to find the balance between the good and the bad, and tip that scale over to focusing on the good stuff. Underneath the surface is the Hangman, and what we need to do is see things from his perspective. Maybe there are some things that you need to implement. Maybe you, because you're better at communicating, need to say to him, hey, what do you want to do tonight, Saturday night? Do you want to go taste wine, or you want to go taste beer, or do you want to go get snow cones down the street? Like, checking in with him. If there's silence and a lack of communication, it's just because he doesn't know really how to get that information out. Um, and that happens to everybody. Gregopedia is not very verbal. He is very quiet. He's strong and silent. And like sometimes I have to. I'm very different from him, even though you guys know him on here. He just is not as talkative as I am. My daughter, very quiet, very much like him. My son, exactly like me. Like he's, in fact, he had a YouTube channel for a hot minute until I pulled the plug. He was a little too young at the time, but he had a YouTube channel before I did. So that's what I see going on there. So, and I think this is the messaging for the weekend. So Saturday night, turn up, find something fun to do, and get in there and, ask him what he wants to do and see if he offers up some solutions. So I hope that works for you, and I appreciate your donation. Guys are awesome as always. Let me throw my stones over here. Now, Carla, trying to get like a good balance. Like I'm trying to only use like maybe 3 or 4 decks when I do these readings. So, Crystal, yeah, I think you emailed me about doing some CRV for you. Were you the gal who lost a deck of cards and was trying to find them? If you message me at Fortune Cookies Tarot and just let me know, I may do like a CRV session like live like this. I can sometimes find lost items. CRV is a really neat skill. I took the course at intuitivespecialists.com with Lori Williams. She's really awesome. It's a pre-recorded course, but they do have live courses. I will go to her course in New Mexico, the in-person one, eventually. I'm very excited about it. I really think it's a cool thing, but it's psychic spy stuff. It's you're actually remote viewing, but it's a little bit different from astral projection. Yeah, we can find objects. We can do things like that. Some people use it in police work for finding lost people, that sort of stuff. I do have a friend on our local police force that he's one of the detectives, and I asked him to be my tour guide, control person for my controlled remote viewing, and I got him the book, and he's all tuned up, and we just haven't been able to put it together because our kids are doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So great guy though. If I do implement him on the channel, I won't have his face on. I'll probably voice distort him too because of his position at his work. So we don't want to out anyone who works in police work these days. So so that being said, so yeah, Crystal, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. Send me a message. I'll see if I can get to it. This weekend's a little bit tight for me just because it's crazy Halloween season. So Carla, Guiding is needing guidance in a profession. All right, so let me see. Let's see what we get here. So this is kind of neat. Like when we do professions, when we get the court cards, we sometimes have some ideas about professions. So as the cards come up, I will explain it to you. We're going to use the what is this? Crazy creature tarot. Curious creature. Curious creature. So I like this deck. I think this deck is cool. So another puckish kind of deck, like the Dark Mansion Tarot, which I actually can't find my deck right now. So I think I put it in the steamer trunk. I have to locate that. So hi everybody that's jumping in. I'll scroll up on the comments in just a minute. Whoop. Jumping out. Jumping out. Okay, Carla. So I know she's distressed about this. Underneath the surface, she's definitely anxious, trying to get out there, trying to make some money. The two cards in the tarot always tell me you have to have some patience. One of them is the strength card. That's the lady with the lion who's kind of taming the lion, has her hand in his mouth, and the other one's the temperance card. So the temperance card tells me you have to have patience because the end goal is to have a life work balance. Okay, so she's got to have some temperance. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This tells me there may be some education that she still needs. So if it's a problem of looking for a job, and I'm going to give everybody a super secret stealth hint about job searching in just a minute. So if she's looking for a job and she needs maybe some more letters after her name, or maybe like a certification or something like that, it would not be out of the question to have to do that. Now, I don't know if she's gone to university and she's already got 2 masters and working on a PhD and she still can't find work. It's something much simpler than that. It's not something very big. It's just something simple. Now, one of my friends had told me not long ago, and I've shared this with other people that I know. Apparently, when you apply for jobs online, there are bots that scan your resume. I mean, that's just the way it is now. That we actually do it my day job with certain things. So bots scan, and it takes the human element out of there, and it takes a little bit of human error out of there, quite frankly. But you can put keywords at the bottom of your resume, and that write them in black, and then turn them white so that they don't show up on the resume. And when that resume is scanned, those words are going to pop up from the bots, even though they're in white and you can't see them. Bots will see them. So, like, if you were going into if you were trying to get a job as a therapist or something like that, and you have an MSW and the details are in that, you can put MSW in on the bottom in black and then white that out, and it's one of the words that's going to pop up as a bot scan. So you can do that. So Gregopedia and I are going to be working on getting some letters after our names. We want to become certified paranormal specialists, and there's there's a certificate that I can get to be a spiritual counselor. So I was going to do that. I get some letters after my name. I'll put some letters after my name. So it'll be fun. So, this, and one of the reasons that I bring up MSW is because I think there is this possibility of her going into some kind of counseling work. I don't know if that's the kind of work that she's looking at, but she's very suited to be like a counselor, like social work or something like that. She very much is suited for that, and it's almost like she's headed in a direction that she thinks she's going to do well in financially, but she's not really suited for it. So there's something in her that is calling to be some kind of therapist, some kind of counselor, someone who guides, who provides guidance, and it's like she's almost kind of turning away from that, like kind of directing herself into. I don't know if I'm right or I'm wrong, Carla. So like if I'm totally off, please let me know. But there is like this calling that maybe she wants to do something like that, and it is a career path that will not make a ton of money at first. She's going to have to build into a profession and a vocation that's going to make more money. So this will be a building process. And again, like I don't want you to think she's got to go back to school for like 27 years. And this feels like a very small adjustment in the education and in the presentation of what she does and what she's capable of, or getting into more of an apprentice kind of situation. Like I hate to say, I know you said she's 39. Entry level is not something you want to hear when you're 39, but if there's mobility in a position, entry level is not a bad thing, especially if you're changing careers. I did it. Those of you that are new followers, those of you that haven't seen the other videos, I went to university to become a college professor. I'm a writer. I'm a fiction writer as well, and I thought that was going to be a good fit. I would have minimal classes in the summer. College professors don't really have a lot of work. If you're at a bigger university, you have graduate students that help you with your papers and things like that. And I thought it was going to be like a really, really cool vocation for me. I had an injury, I had a head injury, gave myself epilepsy, and I wiped out a couple of the languages that I needed to do my graduate work and my PhD work. So I kind of derailed. I wound up meeting my ex-husband, got to live in California, do nothing for a while. And then when we split up, my epilepsy was really bad, and I came back to the East Coast to kind of resolve that, and we split up for a while. What I discovered was I was really good at dog training. I didn't even need a degree to do that. And so I wound up, training dogs for the duration until I had my kids. And then after I had my kids, it really wasn't a reality to go back to dog training because I was working sometimes a 70, 80-hour week. Like I lived, breathed, and ate dog. Well, I didn't eat dogs, but I lived, breathed, and like I was constantly around dogs. I was constantly dirty. I never wore makeup, which is totally different from what I do now. But I couldn't go back to that, and I wound up going into the profession that I'm in now. So and reading tarot cards the whole time. So I don't think it's a bad thing for her to go back to an entry level type of thing. So that definitely is kind of the path here, but there's some kind of education. If I'm onto it, let me know. I don't know, that felt kind of weird. So so let's go over here. And I have a list of questions. And there's Serendipity's been busy. That's okay, sweetie pie. Great question. Okay. Oh, thanks, Francois. Hit like, everybody, please hit like. Oh, and Star Ruby, Saint Anthony. Oh my God. Oh my. It works every time. Works every time. You know what's crazy? As a psychic, as an intuitive and empath, when I ask Saint Anthony for help, like all of a sudden I'll get flashes, I'll get downloads of where stuff is. So it definitely does have. Oh, it's your social security card. All right, yeah. Email me, hun, and I'll see if I can find it. So, oh, Crystal. Okay, Crystal, we can do this. All right. Oh, don't we all hate dating? Dating is the worst. It's the worst. So we're gonna switch it over to it's my after tarot deck. You know what? No, this is my cosmopolitan deck. This feels like a crystal deck. Let's do what we do. Got some jump outs. We're going to put them back in because it was a handful. Sloppy shuffle. Home of the sloppy shuffle. All right. And Crystal, I'm going to tell you something. That social security card, I'm getting a very, very clear image. Like controlled remote viewing just kind of helps you focus your psychic ability. I'm getting a very, very clear picture of, it's like a petty cash box. It's like a dark gray petty cash box or a safe or something like that. There's definitely some like small manila envelopes in there. I know that sounds weird. It's like the old fashioned kind that has like the little red string that goes around it. Um, I don't know if you have something like that, but it's definitely a gray metal box. Um, there's also something that is like white and fuzzy. It's like a pillow or something that's behind it. It's just like a small decorative pillow. Um, but the box itself is like out in the open. I don't chat in if you have something like that, but I think it's in there. The social security card, that is, like, just kind of take a look for that. um but still message me, and we'll see if we can actually do like a full-blown CRV session with you. And love life, let's see what's going on with this love life. There's a guy, there's a I think it's a gentleman. um so right now, you're like a fish going upstream, Crystal. So and I hope you can oh, you know what, I'm gonna just move these up because I don't want to lose your question here. I'll tell you everything that I'm looking at here, baby doll. So there we go. So what we've got, and let's see if we can come down a little bit. Oh. So what we've got here is you're still a little bit brokenhearted. Okay, there's still a little bit of bruising there. The relationship that you got out of that ended was a very sweet romance. The good parts of it were very good and very rich. When it was good, it was great. So that is an emotion that you're taking forward into the future. So and I talk about Dr. Joe Dispenza all the time. All my regulars know this. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about how the emotions that we're feeling, we reprogram our body and we reprogram our spirit and then bring a similar thing into the future. We create that future from the emotions that we're having. So, if you just an example, if you go through a traumatic incident, you go through something awful, you're going to bring that anxiety, reprogram your cells, reprogram your terrestrial body, and then reprogram the spirit to create that kind of situation and draw those anxious angst in ensuing events toward yourself. So this is you're just not over the hump yet. So the relationship and the pain of losing that relationship, the door has not closed yet. So that's something that can take time, and it sometimes we can meditate ourselves or force ourselves into a more healed apparatus, a more healed disposition, so that we can bring more in, bring something better in. But right now, you're still healing, honey. You're still in a little bit of a raw state, and you're not quite ready. You don't know exactly what you want. So we have our Ace of Cups upside down. You're still a little brokenhearted about the relationship breaking up. um the world is upside down. We're not complete. The world is our last card of the tarot, and that's when we transform into the next phase. We transform into the next chapter, or the next level of what we're doing, or the next incarnation of ourselves, you know. And I talk about different incarnations in our lifetime. All the experiences that we have with different people create different personalities of us. And that doesn't mean like we have, you know, crazy split personalities or anything. It just means that we learn from those situations and we evolve. And that's the whole archetype of the tarot, the major arcana. It's moving from being this goofy, you know, fun loving fool into the world where we are the sum of our experiences, both good and bad. You know, ideally, we want to take those good experiences and move into the future and improve on ourselves. Some people in certain lifetimes, they don't, you know, like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer did not improve in his last lifetime. You know, definitely there are, you know, what am I saying? Exceptions to the rules, what I'm trying to say. But this, right now, you're still healing, and you don't know what could be different, what could be better for the next relationship, what um, would serve you best. And that sounds very self-centered, and that sounds very egotistical and sociopathic, but it's not, because really when you create that energy level in yourself, when you heal fully and you say, okay, I am ready to move on to a new relationship, I am ready to move on to a new experience that is going to enrich me in this lifetime as an energetic being, then, you know, we get something very, very interesting happens. We get this development of spirit. We get people that start to become attracted to us. And what I want to do for you is, I do want to pull one of my Louise Hay cards for you. So these are the Louise Hay Power Thought cards from the Hay House Company. And Louise Hay is our Grande Dame of affirmations. Really was a tremendous, tremendous spiritual guide for a lot of people. I've been a tremendous fan of hers for most of my adult life. So here's a message for you. Message for you, my darling, to help you heal from this last process. What we have, boom. These cards, they always, always, always give me the exact message that someone needs. It's really cool. Yeah, if any of you get private readings from me, make sure you ask me to pull out a power card for you. So the card you got, sweetie pie, I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. This is such a tremendous message for someone who's coming off a relationship. You know, the person that we have to deal with every single night, I put it on my little stand. It'll be out for the day. It'll be the message of the day. I am at peace, all of you. I hope you are all at peace this Saturday. You know, the person that we are every single day, the person that we have to have breakfast with and grab a cup of tea with, which I am drinking way too much tea, guys. I just want you to know that I ordered all that tea, and I'm drinking tea constantly. It's fantastic. My sugar levels like up to here. So, we want to love the person that we are. I'm never lonely. Sometimes I get a little bit lonely when everybody's doing something else. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sitting here, playing by myself." But I really like the person that I've become as an adult. I didn't always, like I'm like, oh God, you're so annoying. Like I hate my voice. I have a really annoying voice. And now that my microphone is not working, it's even worse. I'm like all tinny and crazy on these embedded mics. So I will fix that eventually and get that nice ASMR voice going. So, but my natural speaking voice is a little bit loud. It's a little abrasive. I get this crazy Jersey accent. I'm certainly not the Long Island medium, but I can do that Long Island voice if you want. I can deck it out. Um, but we really have to love the person that we are, and we have to be at peace with the person that we are. So sometimes that means forgiving ourselves for choices that we made, or decisions that we made, or things that we've done, relationships that we did not see to fulfillment. So my message to you is, don't look about passing that love out. Bring it back in. Love yourself, calm yourself, be your own best friend. I know that sounds hokey and weird. um, you know, right now, this Four of Pentacles, which is your root card, it's in reverse. You need to be selfish with yourself to build yourself back up. Once you do this, and once you start to shine and glow, you're going to bring that love to you. And that person is going to match your vibrations, and they're going to come right into your life. You never know. Now, Crystal, I don't know how often you've watched my videos, but my husband, Gregopedia, I have known him my whole life. I remember when his mother was pregnant with him, because my mom and his mom were best friends. We had entire lifetimes. I got married, I had kids, I moved away. I was on the other side of the country, and I moved back here and wound up with him. Very weird. We never dated before, anything like that. But he is absolutely the other half of me. He is completely the yin to my yang. So, when you get into that space, and when you get into that energy, you're gonna find that person just comes right to you. All right. So I believe in that. So take that into your weekend. Remember your mantra: I am at peace. You are at peace. And you're going to bring all that magic right into you. So that is fantastic. So let's. And serendipity. This is, yeah, and that was what I did. I did the wish list with two of my guy friends, and they laughed at me. They were like, "You're never going to date anybody again." It's one of the funniest moments of my life, because they were absolutely like both. They just were shy. It was a big list. I made a big. We were drinking wine, so drinking wine and smoking cigars. So it was a big list. So yeah, Christy did this too. Serendipity says wish list. Serendipity said she did it with a split. Penny, darling, you are very welcome. Those Pisces, they're just under the water. They're blah 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 blah. So all right, manifested. Penny, if you're Pisces, you must have some other signs in there. I am not an astrologer, but like I had the first thing I did when I had my kids was I got their birth charts. My mother thought I was nuts, but it is what it is. So, and serendipity, she did that. I didn't do our compatibility charts. Gregopedia was a Capricorn. I wasn't worried about a thing. So all right, so yes, Crystal, in scanning for keywords, and if you put those keywords in black and then turn them white, they don't even know they're there. So you can do like all kinds of crazy stuff. You can put different things in there that maybe you don't have, and that way your resume will bubble to the top. So that's great. Carla, yippee. Okay, Katie, thank you so much for your donation, darling. So we got a love reading. You know what, Katie? You feel like a Housewives Tarot kind of girl. I love this deck. This deck is super fun. And I never thought that this was going to be like a deck that I use professionally. It comes in a little recipe box. It's the cutest thing ever. And you get this on Amazon. But it's got the little recipe dividers, and it's got recipes, actual real recipes on the back for deviled eggs. My husband loves deviled eggs. I don't like to give them to him for obvious reasons. They're not good the next day. So let's see, what does Jordan want in regards to you all? Let's see. So this is kind of interesting. So I think Jordan is still pining away for a former relationship. I think that we've got we have 9 of Cups in reverse, 6 of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords, the 6 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and the 4 of Wands is our broadest energy, and the High Priestess is under the surface. High Priestess is secrets. We have to ask questions to get answers from her. And she looks like Mrs. Butterworth in here. My favorite syrup of all time. So it just feels like we were just talking about wish lists and checklists. It feels like he's got this checklist, and there are certain things that he's not checked off on your list yet. And it looks like there's some comparison to someone, if it's a he. I feel like Jordan's a he. I'm sorry. I try to be as fair as possible, like especially when people don't tell me. Like I have done readings for people named Chris, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I'm Chris a guy, not Chris a girl." So I can pick up on it sometimes. Sometimes you miss the mark. I am not a foolproof psychic, so there's definitely this pining away, and I think there's still communication with this former individual, and he is trying to kind of right that ship. Now this could also be something about your relationship in the past. It could be trying to get back to a certain point in the relationship, but I do honestly, and like, I'm sorry honey if this is upsetting, it does feel like there's this like pining away for somebody else. It's like he's got something else. He's not quite ready to settle down. There's still some figuring out that he has to do. He doesn't like to be alone though. And part of the problem with that is that he doesn't. The Hermit card for me, and this is our Hermit card. She's in the bathtub taking some time to herself. So, and she's in reverse for your reading. So the Hermit card is, and this is, I'm quoting Melissa Cyanova, who wrote Kitchen Table Tarot. Shut up and let me think. That's what the Hermit, when he goes someplace, he wants to block out all the noise and all the input so he can go think someplace. So when this is in reverse, we have an individual who is perhaps not going away and using that time to think. It's somebody who's kind of on a conveyor belt, and they keep having more stimulus and input, so they can't process the information. So it definitely feels like that. Our Six of Wands is in reverse. Now the six is the even numbers of the numbered cards, the pips in tarot, are always places of stability. So when we've got a card of stability, a point of stability, which is our six, which is it's a stopping point where we can kind of catch our breath and get ready to examine where things are working and where they're not. So he's avoiding getting into the nitty gritty and figuring out what's working and what's not. So what should you do in the meantime? Let's pull some cards and see what you should do in the meantime, because it feels like and I hate saying, oh, it's blocked, like everybody says that, oh, there's the blockage there. Yeah. and believe me, like there we do get blockages sometimes, but let's take a look at what you should do. And this is some storytelling for my new viewers. If I've got some new people on here, if you're new, thumbs up and say I'm new. So what we do is we pull the cards two at a time and just kind of give you some guidance on how you should behave. So given this situation, how should you behave? Five of Swords. Don't try and keep fixing it. Like don't go bananas trying to fix this. All right? You have to kind of let it go. You have to be the captain of your own life. You have to be the engineer of your own fun and your own stuff that you're doing. Do not sit home on Saturday night and wait for the phone to ring. That is not what you're doing. You are going to make plans. Even if it's, I'm going to plan to watch Dirty Dancing, give myself a facial, and drink a bottle of wine. There's so much drinking that I'm talking about in this video. You guys are going to think I drink all the time. I don't. I drink tea. I'm drinking tea constantly. And this is water. It is not vodka. 20 people. Thanks, everybody, for being here. This is fun on a Saturday. So the Three of Swords, don't be sad about this. We have Three of Swords in reverse, and Three of Swords is our toughest card in the deck. It is sadness, loss, broken heart, bad things with pregnancies. It really is. It's a tough card. However, when it's in reverse, and this is one of the beauties of being a very, very positive-minded tarot reader, psychic, when the Three of Swords is in reverse, we're healing from that. We're starting to move into something different. And here we have our Queen of Cups. And I'm pulling this down so you can see these cards better. There we go. Production by Gregopedia. So we have our Queen of Cups. Look, she's in charge. She's having a drink too, though. So she's definitely having a drink. But the Queen of Cups is in command of her emotions. She is on top of it. And like Crystal before you, this is a woman who's in love with herself, not in a bad way, in a good way. This is a woman who finds her value and is totally comfortable with that. And again, when we start to do that, we're going to bring that really good stuff toward us. We're going to bring the right people toward us. 10 of Wands. This is trying to over create the situation, to create a new foundation. And I hate to say, the chase is on when you turn around. So some guys do that. You turn around and the chase is on. They start coming after you. But don't play that game. Okay, this is not a situation where you're going to play that game. What you're going to do is you're going to call your girlfriends. You're going to call your best guy friend, and you're going to say, let's go. I don't know. There's movies out. I never go to the movie theater. I never go anywhere. I'm constantly in this basement. So you're going to make plans for tonight. Even if it's like go to a happy hour and just have like a cocktail and an hors d'oeuvre, or there's a new pizza place down the street. You want to go have some brick oven pizza. Clearly my jersey is showing because I always go to pizza. Had pizza yesterday. I'm dying for pizza today. This is why I have a weight problem. So I want you to not try and manage this situation. I want you to manage your own situation. I want you to make your own fun tonight. Don't worry about setting some groundwork with this guy. And don't worry about going out and doing your own thing. It's going to wreck the foundation with him. You know, he's got his own thing to do. Okay. Knight of Wands, he's doing his own thing. And then we have this death card. Don't get worried about the death card. Okay. If it is the end of the situation with him, then we find a better path. We find something better to move on to. But the Knight of Wands is a fire elemental card. This is someone who is creating and making changes. This possibly could be him evolving into something else, but it also could possibly be him evolving out the door. Is that a good thing for you? It may be a good thing. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which is you know, a very happy card. That's the cloistered woman when she's upright. That is the kept woman, if you will. uh you know, that's not a great position to be in because there are some sacrifices. So you know, but when she's upright, it's a better position. But when it's in the reverse, this could be someone who's being controlled by another person, who's being manipulated by another person, who doesn't have their best intent. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. This is somebody who is not high-minded, not thinking for the greater good, and really being very, very self-centered. So middle of the deck, we're going to take one more card for you, baby doll. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. So you're gonna get busy having fun with yourself and with your friends. That's really, I think, what you should do. Go back to the things that you love. Don't wring your hands. Don't wait. Go make life. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about making love. Go make life. Go enjoy yourself. Go rock climbing. Go swimming. Go do whatever you're going to do. Go race car driving. I don't know. They have those things where you go and you test drive race cars. Go do that. Go do something really exciting. That's your action plan for this weekend. That's your prescription that I'm giving you. I want you to go out. I want you to make plans with your girlfriends or with your guy friends, and don't worry about being in a relationship. Go have a relationship with a really fun experience someplace. That's really going to be your best bet. Don't wait around for somebody else. You're better than that. Okay? Definitely better than that. So I hope that helps, sweetie pie. Look, I got all these cards stashed all over the place now. So I'm going to put this up here. I think we're going to go back to our scheduled readings. Adam May! Hi, I'm glad you made it too. You're having crazy life. I'm having a crazy life too. I have to be in like 5 different places at one time. All my Facebook users. So if you want to migrate on over to YouTube, the easiest thing for me to do is to get the super chats or the super stickers and do it that way. If you want a private reading, there's a link in the description below. I can always do private reading for you. So you are welcome, Carla. So yeah, Facebook users, like it's a little bit, you know, I was having people chatting comments and questions, and then it was getting a little bit tricky. So, and oh, great, Crystal, thank you for emailing me. Oh, Adam, okay. Oh, and there's one. Okay. Adam, yes, but hang on. Hang on one second. Let me. Ooh. All right. How do we get to that super chat? Oh, Anime, there you are. Perfect. All right, we're going to use a big tarot for this because it's a big idea. Okay, next 3 months. Right, right. So, all right. So this is month number 1. Okay, so we have Knight of Swords, get in there and write. The Queen of Swords, get in there and edit. She is always my editor, and the Knight of Swords is my guy who does it. The King of Swords, when we get to that, the King of Swords is the guy who goes out and is selling the writing. That's the guy who's really working on that. So we definitely want to get in there and keep honing the craft. The Hermit says to us that you have to bring in another opinion. We need to get Gregopedia is entering the room. Gregopedia, say hi to everybody. He said, So, new users, Gregopedia, my wonderful husband, and also our fact checker and part-time producer. So, the Hermit tells me that we need to get another person in here. We need to get another opinion, another set of fresh eyes on the project. So that is not a bad thing. That's for right now. So next month, where are we going next month? What is our next step for next month? Sloppy shuffle. So next month, the caution to you is not to tinker with it too much. Okay. You're not going to get in there and undo any of the work that you've done this month. Okay. But it is a little bit more of a sleepy month. It's almost like you've planted the seeds this month and now you're waiting for them to pop out of the soil, and you keep looking and you keep looking. Toward the end of the month, things are going to start to evolve. Okay. And how will they evolve into the next month? And this is our evolution card. Good things will start happening. The Sun card, best card in the deck. Complete opposite of Three of Swords. So what month is it? It's October. This is November. So this will be December. December, a lot of choices. And I want you to be careful in December for any offers that you get, because we've got the Emperor in reverse here. So that's somebody who is in a position of power, somebody who's in charge, who's going to make you a crummy deal. The deal is not going, and this will be, you're cutting the deal. This is where we get into our King of Swords. The deals that are going to be presented to you are not going to be beneficial to you. So we'll go a little bit further. We're going to see what you need to do when that comes up. So we got to do fourth month. Got to go into January. That's our month. Stand your ground. Okay. This is not going to be the only deal that you're going to get. This individual who's going to say, hey, this is the deal we're going to throw you. Why don't you take it? It's not going to be the only deal you're going to take. Stand your ground on this. Find your point of acceptance and stick with that. No matter what somebody says to you. If they say, oh, well, we could do something down the line. We can make changes to the arrangement. No. Pay me now. You're going to cut me the deal that I deserve now. I'm sorry, the cards were underneath there. So, you're going to cut me the deal that I deserve now. You're going to pay me what my work is worth. You're always going to remember this, because you are in the right here. So, and that's one of the things, that's so difficult for artists in poorer economies, because it's not that the artists undervalue themselves, but it's sometimes the brokers of those types of work. It is a business, and they're trying to make money out of it. So what they'll do is they'll buy low, sell high. It's a really easy equation here. And sometimes when we're in a difficult economy, the average pricing will go lower. They'll start to say, well, the resale is not good. There's a lot of reasons for it. And it's really terrible. I mean, we do see that in a lot of industries. It's something that I see more often in the art community, less often in the writing community, and where people are doing visual art, they will be underpriced or undervalued, and the individuals really try and convince them of that because of the starving artist archetype. I got to use the word archetype correctly. Yes. So archetype. I got an archetype in there. So, don't settle. Don't settle. And just kind of stay the course. What you've got is good. For right now, again, you're planting those seeds and helping them grow. You're doing editing, you're writing and doing the editing, you're working and doing the fine touches on it. And then next month, you're going to kind of let those germinate. And then the following month, you'll get some offers and it will be great. Stand your ground. Going into January, you're going to make sure that your work is valued at what it should be. So I think that's a good plan. So thank you so much for your contribution, my darling, and for being an ever-present fan. Serendipity, yes, serendipity is also a sensitive, ladies and gentlemen, very gifted one too. Excellent resource for me. So thank you, dear. And I you know what, she's not only here to support me, she is supporting me outside of my lives and my YouTube channel. So she's really great. The Housewives Tarot, it's so cute, right? I love that deck. And I didn't think it would be like such a serious deck. Like it actually reads really, really well. Oh, thank you, Marisol. Thank you. So, Rosanna, how are you, my darling? I got your email. I haven't responded because I've been like crazy insane right now. I have to be in like 27 different places. Yvonne, hi. Yvonne, I've been drinking so much tea. It's not even funny. I know we were talking about tea when I did your reading. All right, so what else? Oh, Katie, I'm sorry, sweetie pie. I'm sorry. Oh no. I block this user. We had a troll, a spammer. All right, so Yvonne, what do you have to look forward to in the? I'm gonna, you know what? Since everybody's talking about the Housewives Tarot, let's pull that out for you, darling. What do you have to look forward to in the next week? All right, so there's going to be a lot going on in this next week for you, sweetie pie. So this is for Yvonne. She's one of my private clients. So that situation that we were talking about is, it looks like it's kind of coming to the close. Okay, so it looks like we have this young man here who's tra la la, happy, happy, happy. Looks like the party is gonna be over, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. Um, it's going to free up some time for you. It's going to free up some energy. It's going to free up some brain power for you. So just keep a mind on that. It will shake you up. The tower is always something that is a change when it's upright. Sometimes it's a shocking change. So I try not to, be prepared for it. Don't let your emotions get out of whack on this one. This is a dust yourself off and proceed. So, what it says is, this is just reclaim your power here. We have the Emperor and we have this Eight of Pentacles, and it's just reclaiming that power. And our Three of Wands is planning for the future, but she's in reverse. So what this says is just stay put, feel that emotion, get ready, prepare for it. And the Three of Wands, when we get that in the reverse, this is like, I don't want to say the Hermit because there's a Hermit card, but this is like hermiting, like, light a fire, cozy up, just kind of close out all the superfluous people and energy in your life, and just consolidate your own energy. It's really what you need to do here. So, when we do that consolidation of energy, when we start pulling that all back toward ourselves, we get more in this position of power, and we start to enhance our skill set that we already have, and that will help us move into the future in a more positive fashion for us. Again, like I was talking about the energies before, and like, similar energies will bring similar energies in. It's one of the reasons why we don't want our kids hanging out with the bad kids in town. I don't want you hanging out with that bad kid. I tell my son all the time, I'm like, I don't want you to look like the idiot, because like people aren't going to want their kids hanging out with you. Like behave appropriately. I'm lucky. I have very, very polite children. They have very good manners. We're pretty hard on them with their manners, except for the hat thing. My son doesn't always take his hat off when he comes to the house. He's got this weird thing about hats. He doesn't like his hair. He's got good hair, so I don't know what he's talking about. But nonetheless, so Penny, buckle up for the week. Sorry, honey, or Yvonne. I was hoping that would be a little bit better. So Batty Lex, like you just whatever you want. You do whatever donation you want. Just super chat in a question, and I don't tell anybody what they have to do, but oh, and you did it. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. We're going to put this deck off to the side. And which one do we want? Wow. We're already at an hour and a half, guys. This went fast. I had this whole list of like reader questions. I was like ready to do like all these reader questions. I didn't know everybody was going to want private reads. And let me know if this is a good time. If Saturday is a good time. I know I kept telling my British friends and my Scottish friends that I was going to try and do something at a time that was more appropriate for them. So, so let's see, CJ. All right, Sweetie Pie. So this is a situation. We have a Strength card, Seven of Cups, Death card, Devil in reverse, King of Cups, King of Pentacles up top. We have Seven of Wands on the bottom. All right, so his intentions are really noble, but they vary from place to place. So he's kind of like a guy who wants to have his cake and eat it all. The Strength card tells us, and this is such a cool Strength card. I want to bring it up to the camera just so you can see. It's this beautiful little goat, very peaceful, nice little sweater. The Strength card in the traditional tarot is a lion with a young lady who is taming him, holding his mouth. And it's about curbing those baser instincts, curbing those animal impulses that we have. So I'm getting the sense, especially with this King of Pentacles, is that he's a little bit of hot stuff and likes to spread his seed around. I mean, you did say that, you know, he does have other kids with another mom. So he's, and I always, you know, I don't condone cheating or anything, but I do understand the science and the biology of men and women. So male animals and people, their job is to go out and expand the empire by procreation. The females stay at home. This is a throwback to my dog training days. Female dogs will always make the best guard dogs at home because they are engineered physiologically through breeding to guard the home and the puppies that are there and their progeny. The males go out and expand the empire. So that's why the males will travel. You know, the scent of a female in heat can travel, I think it's up to 2 miles. I'm sorry, I think it's 7 miles, but you can Google fact check that on me. Greg Peavy is Google fact checking something else. But the males will travel. So years ago, like when I was a kid and we would let our dogs out, like we had a male dog who was not neutered. I know it was a long time ago. I'm old. And he would travel off to go make puppies up at the neighbor's house. So, got himself into trouble a few times. But, you know, males that do this are very terrestrial. They're very in their physical body and they're answering to all of those hormones and those impulses. So be careful with that because he's super sexy, you know, and he will you know, bust a move and kind of, you know, the 7 of Cups is a gaslighting card. That's kind of being dazzled by it. It's going to say all the right things. You know, that's kind of the danger of these suave guys where like they roll in and they say all the right things and then they vodio do and they're out the door. So, you know, just be careful about that because that is something that he does. He is a guy, and I don't want to say he's an opportunist, but he's just very, very, in tune with his baser instincts and his procreative impulses, let's put it that way. So he will eventually evolve out of this. He will break free of it, and will eventually become, you know, a much more calmer, grounded kind of human being versus a hormone bag of bones, you know, for lack of a better thing. He really does want to find a person to settle down with. He just would have to be there all the time because the minute he goes out, he goes, "Woo!" He's that guy in the meme. He's like, "Woo! Look at that girl." You know, he does kind of feed into the pheromones that he smells and all of that. So, he needs a little bit more time in the oven. He needs to mature a little bit. So, you know, that's really what I'm seeing on him. So you know, uh, give him a little bit more time. I would say, you know, continue to have a cordial relationship with him, and just see how he matures. You know, it's really your best bet there. So, you know, there may be more children for him in the future. I hate to say it, but I do think that there may be more children for him in the future. You know, I don't want to call them biblos, but it will be some more children. So, okay. Aries Rainbow Child, relocating in the cards. We're going to go over to this deck. And thank you very much, my dear, for your donation. I very much appreciate it. So we got everybody in reverse here. All right. So we have our Magician, Queen of Wands, Devil in reverse. Everybody's in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse. Hierophant in reverse. I am going to say this is a big no. The time is not ripe yet. We're not quite ready. Why are we not quite ready? So the tools at hand, the magician, when he's upright, the magician has the money, the resources, the will, the disposition. The cup is is our emotions and our disposition, totally ready. This is a situation where you are going to have to be completely committed to this emotionally, completely committed to this financially, completely committed to this in the physical of moving of, because it feels like you want to move to, like a pretty long distance. Feels like this is a notable move. So I'm not sure where you're from, Aries Rainbow Child, because like I'm not sure what NT is. I'm looking at your super chat and I'm not sure what that is.
Netherlands?
Oh, Netherlands. Oh, maybe you're in the Netherlands. Maybe, I don't know. So it just feels like this is not, you're not ready to make that move. Then the Queen of Wands in reverse. We don't have consensus on this. So I don't know if you have other people and pets and things that you're moving with you. We don't have a consensus on this yet. The other parties are not sold on the idea just yet, and we see that too with the Hierophant in reverse. So the Devil is extricating ourselves from a locked in situation when it's in reverse. There's a loosening of the ties there, but we still have a long way to go. The pitch that you're giving to the other people is not quite there. They're not quite buying. They're not buying what you're selling yet. What do we need to get this to move forward? What do we need to get you to move forward? And if you're coming to Jersey, we'll get some pizza. I'll buy you a piece of pizza. Ah, okay. So one of the things is here we have again the Page of Swords. That's our messaging. The sales pitch is not correct. And there's so much history and there's a lot of fondness and nostalgia for our Six of Cups is always our nostalgia card. We're always looking back. I don't want to leave. This is the park I went to when I was a child. This is where I got married. This is where my grandmother and grandfather first met each other. There's a lot of nostalgia there. There's all this history. If you are in Europe, there is this element of this very rich history that you don't want to leave behind, an identity. Some of the entities that are involved in this. And here's our King of Wands. And if there is a king involved in this, the king is more concerned about the working situation and well, we've been here and we've been doing this for so long. It's going to be really difficult to go from A to B and we're going to be restarting all over again. Why do we want to restart? I don't want to begin again. And he is our hard no. This is our hard no, because he says, I just don't want to go start all over again. It's like a whole new life, and he just wants to kind of coast into the rest of his days. So is this a possibility in the future? This feels like a hard no from this other party here. No, not ready. So, and it feels like, there will be some fighting about this. Don't fight about it. It's, sometimes, like the Five of Cups. Okay, sometimes we're not seeing the good things that we have. The Eight of Cups, when the Eight of Cups is upright, this is, I always tell my people, this is leaving something that's good for something that's unknown. I don't know. There may be a big mountain ahead of us. There may be just a watery, slosh fest that we have to go through. When it's in reverse, this is, we're not looking at all of the sides of the equation. We have to make sure that we really do understand what we're getting into and where we're going. So, and then this Tower card is, doing something on our own. This is the Tower when it's upright is cataclysmic change from without. When it's in reverse, it can be cataclysmic change from within, and it can also be cataclysmic change that's irreversible. So just be cautious. This isn't something that someone wants to be surprised with. Surprise! We're moving to Antarctica. It's a surprise. I sold the house. We got to be out next week. No surprises. It's still a conversation that you can have, but we still have this adamant, King of Wands, Knight of Swords. It's in reverse, or they're not in reverse, but the messaging is contrary to moving to a faraway land or moving someplace different, not pulling up those roots, not embarking on a new career, new event, new lifestyle. That's one of the things. No new lifestyle. So I hope that helped, sweetie pie. Thank you very much. Let me pull that down. Oh, Yvonne, thank you, darling. Serendipity says hi to you, Greg. Hello. I needed that sloppy shuffle box. I need it. I'll work on it. As soon as we get through football season, band season, and whittling down the number of colleges that we're looking at, then I will I will do that. Adame, oh, thank you so much, honey. Thank you. All right, so Jumpin' Jupiter says hi to you too, Greg. Hello. Whoever blocked the spammer, thank you so much. Mystic Rose, just send me, if we're doing a part 2 to a private reading, just set up an appointment with me, but not for tomorrow. I didn't block out my schedule tomorrow, and I actually have to block out my schedule. I got a bunch of stuff that I have to do, and just remind me that it's a part 2. We're finishing up your reading. Thank you for blocking the troll. Oh, it's nice to meet you too, Batty. All right, so let's see. All right, spreading seeds. Oh, Jasmine. Okay. We got another one here. Right now, I'm not in contact with Edgar. What's the future of our connection? Is this over between us? He's a Gemini, 32. Gemini, those double faces. Let's see what we get. I might not get to the rest of these reader requests. I'll have to do it in a regular reading. I had so many people that wanted readings. Thank you so much, everybody, for jumping in on this. Super fun. And remember, tell your friends. I'm trying to scale up my channel. I got a whole bunch of new viewers and subscribers in the last couple of days, actually. There's my sloppy shuffle. So things have been happening. I'm like Navin Johnson from The Jerk. Things are going to start happening to me now. He hates these cans, Greg. You can't say that. Can't say the D word. You might not be able to say gas pumper anymore either. All right, so Jasmine and Edgar. What's going on with Jasmine and Edgar? like that. I got all this new real estate for my new blocking, but it doesn't accommodate a Celtic cross with the giant cards. So, whoop, let's do this. We'll just make this work. So the communication is shut down right now. Okay. So the no contact thing, I absolutely get it. Now, things were not terrifically happy on his side in the past. It wasn't the right fit for him. What's blocking is this lack of I don't want to say effort because it's really not effort, but it's a lack of the right alchemy for the situation. There's just something. You guys are like almost like on a different vibrational level. The What's under the surface here is we have our nostalgia card. That's our six of cups with the little kids and very immature thinking on his part. I don't know if it's your part, but definitely on his part, there's some immature thinking. And this is, again, a situation of, well, I want to see what else is out there. I want to try. And, I don't want to lock myself down because I want to see if there's something better out there, which is not uncommon for men in that kind of age group. So we do have the Queen of Swords here. So what this tells us in the immediate future is that the effort would have to be on your part. You would have to do the reach out and say, hey, what are you doing? What or are you interested in getting together? Do you want to go get a cup of coffee or a sangria or something like that? You would have to make the effort. So let's see if that would be to your benefit. It may not be to your benefit. You may be, terribly, terribly disappointed by it. The response, you potentially could wind up with, hey, I'm seeing somebody else. Let's see. Yeah, like the Wheel of Fortune, things are not in your control with him. And under the surface, he may be very happy, just kind of cruising along, doing his own thing. And that doesn't mean that you interjecting yourself into it would interfere with that. But essentially, it may be hurtful to you if you reach out and you find out that he is dating somebody else or casually involved with somebody else. So what I say is we're going to pull some more cards to see how you should conduct yourself. So this says move along. Okay, your power is depleted. Your choices are limited when our power is deleted, like depleted, not deleted, depleted. Um, there are some adventures that are ahead of you. Okay. And I don't want you to think that this is the end all. This is not the missed opportunity that the rest of your life is going. This isn't the butterfly effect that's going to ruin the rest of your life. This isn't an opportunity where you're missing being taken care of and being pampered. There's always another path. So, what I tell people, like I teach tarot as well, Jasmine, and when I explain to them how the universal energy appears to me. It's like I look out in space and there's this big cloth of silk and there's threads that run through it. And we can connect to any of those threads because they're all woven together. They're all kind of like that. So we can go down like Tron and go, if you know the movie Tron, like go down one little strand and you can get to a point and then you make a hard right turn and you go to another direction. That's one of these situations. I don't want you to think this is the hard stop. And I know with heartache and relationship loss, sometimes we get really hung up on that and we're like, oh, I'm never gonna love anyone again. When I split up with my ex, I was I don't know, 38, 39, 40, something like that. And like I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm old. I've got 2 kids. I'm done. No one's ever gonna date me again. I am old and horrible. Not true. I found my husband, who is wonderful. And he did not think that I was old and miserable. The moving on is preventing you from planning your future. So earlier on in the session today, I did do a reading for somebody, and I told her, make plans with your girlfriends, make plans with your guy friends, go out, go. Go see a movie, go have a meal, go do something, climb a rock, whatever you got to do. Similar thing for you. Like, don't sit here and wring your hands and kind of wait for life to happen to you. The sitting and pondering and thinking about it, even like consuming yourself mentally about it, is going to hold you back. We don't want to hold you back. We want to set you free and we want you to fly. So our 10 of Swords in reverse, this is exactly what I want to see. 10 of Swords in reverse is us getting over that mental anguish, stopping the repeating thoughts like, what is he doing? Is he thinking about me? Does he like me? Does he not like me? And believe me, we've all had gaslighters like this. We've all been ghosted. I should say that we haven't all been ghosted, but a lot of us have been. Getting over that and saying, I am powerless over this. And this was one of the cards that I pulled. I am at peace for someone earlier. And I'll read it again for everybody because this is our mantra for the weekend. All of my Fortune Cookies fans. I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. So, the loving of yourself. And I guess that's kind of the theme of today is like Saturday, love yourself. I'm at peace. Which sounds like really hokey, like when I was younger, I was like, oh God, affirmations. Like I dug them, but I was like I'm not going to do them every day. But really thoughts are things. And that's a Louise Hay saying thoughts are things. And what we say can create our future. So, when we say things like, oh, I'm not good at drawing, like I say all the time, you're going to continue to not be good at drawing. If you say, oh, I'm so heartbroken and miserable, you're going to be heartbroken and miserable. Creating that vibe of, I'm going to be happy today. I am going to go outside and get in the sunshine, and I'm going to go lay in my hammock. I have a hammock. I'm going to go lay in my hammock and I'm just going to exist in that moment. Having that feeling, connecting with the feeling of happiness. And this is a Joe Dispenza thing, who's a Louise Hay House published author and spiritual guide, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Doing meditations and practicing feeling happy really makes a huge difference for us. It really makes a huge difference for the way that our future unfolds. There's people that are just naturally lucky. Those people accept that they're lucky and they're going to win the lottery or they're going to win concert tickets. I have this friend, Kathy. I've known her since kindergarten. She constantly wins concert tickets. She goes, I really want to go to that concert. I'm dying to go. And like all of a sudden she like goes to like a restaurant and they're like giving tickets away and she wins them. It's crazy. She won 2 sets of tickets to the same concert in the same day. Not kidding. 2 separate places. Totally crazy. I know. Her kids have it too. Her kids wind up winning tickets all the time. So I'm going to tell her that I talked about her on this show. So She tells me, you know what the best thing about being friends with you? I have my own private witch. I'm not a witch, but she's like, I get my fortune read all the time. So, um, reclaim your future. Don't live in this moment. Don't wait for Edgar. Just go and make life. That's the other thing today. I said make life, not love. Make life. You're just gonna go and create that life. So, everybody take a moment, close your eyes. I want you to imagine that happy, amazing feeling like you won the lottery, or like you got flowers, or you got the job that you wanted. You got a job offer that was 50% more than the salary that you're being offered. That feeling of elation, that feeling in your chest, like, oh my God, this is so great. Feel that feeling, and that is going to just change your body and change your spirit. It's going to change your expectation. It preps everything for having this amazing future. So I hope that helps. I kind of went off. I don't know if you guys like it when I go off like that or not. So all right, I'm gonna scroll down. Hi, Gilded Girl, kittens. So Gilded Girl has the most adorable tiger kittens at her house. Blah, 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 blah. Do, 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 do. So listen, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, okay? Because I don't have any. Oh, there we go. How does he feel about you in his heart? All right, so this is last request that I'm gonna do because I got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna have to do. Look at all these questions. I have all these questions from readers, or from viewers. So I'll do a video. I'll do a production video for that. So I thought this was going to be all production videos. So how does he feel about you in his heart, Batty Lex? This is going to be my last one. Oh, and we got a troll. One of my. Okay. I up. Somebody. Do I have any? Gilda Girl, you really should be an administrator on YouTube, so you can block these suckers. I'll have to make you an administrator.
The dawn shall take you.
The dawn shall take you. None shall. Or wait, what does he say? You shall not pass.
The dawn shall take you is for the trolls.
Oh, for the trolls. Oh,
for the Balrog.
The Balrog. Well, they're kind of like Balrogs. I mean,
Balrog's demon, trolls.
But
They think you're a burger of it.
I didn't blow my nose. For all my new people, Greg Petey and I are big Tolkien fans, so we make a lot of Tolkien references. So how does he feel about you in his heart? So again, he this is so he's very situational. So it's whoever is the honey of the moment. He's kind of like, oh, I really love her. Yeah, and I don't want to say that he's fickle, because he's not like drifting from one to the next, and he's certainly not a jerk. Like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna dog this one, and then I'm gonna dog this one. Like, he's not like that. Like, he's just like, he likes all these things about you, but he likes all these things about another gal, and like, oh, I'm here now, and like, it's great, and like, oh, I just love it. But then when he leaves, if he encounters something that he likes in someone else, he kind of like moves on. He's a moment's moment kind of guy. Um, he does have feelings for you, does like things about you. In his heart, he does. But he has a very large heart that he feels a lot of things for a lot of different people. So, so really that's kind of where I see him. So I know that's a tough truth. but you know, I think a little bit more time in the oven with him. He's not a bad guy. He's just like he has love ADD. So, and some people do. So, all right. So I am gonna wrap it up for today. But you guys seem to really like this Saturday time. So, why don't we do this? Maybe I will. There I am. So maybe I will do a Saturday live. Like I'll try and schedule it weekly or maybe a Sunday live. You know, just a couple hours. We could do some readings for you guys. And, you know, as always, like if you would like to have like your own private extensive reading, you can always book one. Description down below. If you can't find a time that works for you, just email me at fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. Like I said, the rest of my weekend I'm blocking out because I gotta be in a million places and I gotta go teach a teenager how to drive right now. So wish me luck. But the card said at the beginning of the reading that was gonna go well. So I'm gonna program that into my future. So thank you everybody for the donations. As always, my regulars, you guys are die hard. You're my ride or dies. I love it. I love seeing each and every one of you here. I love getting your emails. I love getting your private messages. You know, this is my favorite part of the day. If I could stay here for the rest of the day, I would. But I got to go teach a teenager to drive, and then I got to go to a massive competition. So for music, so that's going to be a lot of fun. By the time I get back, it's going to be pretty late. So thank you all. I hope to see you next week. Those of you that are new subscribers, welcome. I hope you stick around. Friday nights on alternating weeks. Alicia Wicker, she has her own YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to her, please subscribe to her. We go back and forth. We do dueling tarot, which is really fun. I'm actually going to pitch to her that maybe we should do live readings for you guys as dueling tarot. I think that might be kind of cool. But we'll see what she thinks of it. So, all right, everybody, I am off. I'm going to go be mommy now. So have a great weekend. Remember your mantra. I am at peace. Everyone's at peace. Go love yourself. Go have a great weekend. And I will see you real soon. See y'all.